All good. All right. Now, don't just breathe. Breathe through the nose. Breathe slower and deeper so that this form of breath creates sensations. Sensations in which your awareness will now monitor for the rest of your practice. Then as you breathe like this, start to notice where in the upper body you're actually breathing into. So where do these sensations occur? And in an ideal breath, you want to have your back lift up and expand just as much as you feel your chest lift up and expand. Meaning the lungs are in the back of the body just as much in the front of the body. So try to breathe a breath from the very inside of the body out in all directions. When you inhale, you get bigger. When you exhale, you get smaller. Take one more minute just like this. And just to give you guys a little heads up, we're going to do the second sequence of Ashtanga today, which is a little bit more back bending than forward bending. It's the same way we start, which is Surya Namaskara A and B. It'll be the same standing poses. It just changes what we do when we get down to the floor. So let's begin our routine on your feet with the sound of Om. All right, perfect. So join your hands, lower your chin, close your eyes, take a deep inhale. Have a great practice. Now release the hands to the side of the body. This first position, Samasthiti, is really the key that links all the other positions together. So we start from the floor and we work our way up. Your feet can be joined or a few inches between the feet. Spread the toes. Press down into the hard floor so your leg muscles activate. The feeling is they start to kind of hug around your leg bones. You would feel your kneecap lift up, and you would feel the back of your thigh press towards the wall behind you. We call that your foundation in your legs. Now use that foundation in your legs to find the neutral pelvis. Think of the belly button coming up and in, or the two frontal hip bones that point forward, they actually lift up. When the neutral pelvis, the tailbone at the back, goes down. Neutral pelvis is set, and then we keep that with the rest of the practice. Ribs that are just above the stomach, they too come into the body. The chest that we like to puff out, we actually pull the chest into the body so that you can breathe into those ribs of the back. I'm going to talk about all those things in all the other positions we're about to do. So keeping what you've established, let's move. Root into your legs. Inhale, sweep up through the arms, maybe bring the hands together. Your legs stay strong. Exhale, forward bend down, hands to the floor. Keep the legs active. Inhale, lift the chest and the chin so the spine becomes lengthened. Then put your hands down. Exhale, back to plank, low plank, and lower down to the floor for the first one. Point the toes back. Inhale, you lift the shoulders up above your wrists. And exhale, you lift your hips. You'll roll over your toes, and you hold your downward facing dog. Here, hands are still shoulder distance apart. And every time we touch the floor, the fingers are spread apart. And then the feet. You separated your feet a little wider than you did in Samasthiti. And you got the very center of your heel behind your second or maybe third toe. Now, instead of pushing the hands forward and pushing the feet behind you, watch what changes in your body when you pull the hands and the feet towards each other. Pull the hands to the toes, pull the toes to the hands. Now bend your knees. Inhale, jump forward between the hands and lift up through the chin. Exhale, fold into the connection of your legs. Use your legs to inhale, lift the spine up, raise the arms along the way, maybe hands together. And exhale, return to Samasthiti. Number 2 is just like that. Inhale, sweep up through the arms without lifting the front ribs. Exhale, lengthen down the front of the legs. Legs, inhale, lift up through the spine. Now use your hands. Exhale, feet back, lower down with that neutral pelvis. Inhale, keep the space in the lower back when you lift the head. Then exhale, lift the hips, fold at the hip, and let your head hang loose. Just feel the gravity, letting the head come down towards the mat. For 1, notice the sound of your breath. 2, can you make that sound smoother? 3, reminding yourself this is a breathing practice, noticing how each position affects your breath. 4, always have the freedom to breathe at your own pace. And 5, look forward to the hands, bend the knees. Inhale, step or jump there and lift up. Strong legs, exhale, fold down. Inhale, when you lift up, raise the arms, keep the neutral pelvis. Exhale, release the arms along the side of the body. Number 3, just like that, with more sound, inhale up through the arms. With more sound, exhale down your legs. More sound, inhale into a longer spine. A smooth exhale takes you down to Chaturanga to reset the foundation. Inhale, hear the sound when you lift. Exhale, hear the sound as you fold back. For 1, hearing the sound of the breath. 2, listening to the subtlety of your yoga practice. For 3, keep your eyes open so you stay present in the moment. Don't get lost in the darkness of closing the eyes. For 4, absorbing the sensations from the position. And 5, bend the knees with a smooth sound. Inhale, hop, step, jump forward to lift the chin. Exhale, the sound, release the head. Follow the sound up. Inhale, neutral pelvis as the hands come together. Exhale, release the arms, Samasthiti. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, lift through the arms, just the arms lift. Then exhale, tilt the pelvis forward to fold down. Then inhale, you do a little back bend as you lift up from the knees. Hands become the foundation to exhale down into your low plank position. Inhale, shoulders lift above the wrist. Exhale, hips up, head down, and stay. Bring all the awareness to the breath and make the quality of the breath the priority of the practice. I count down from 5. 4. 3. 2. Take 1 more. But finish with your knees bent. Look forward. Inhale, forward to lift up. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, rise up, but keep the containment in the core. Exhale, Samasthiti. 1 more. Inhale, lift through the arms. Exhale, forward, bend down the legs. Inhale, creating length from tailbone to head. Plant palms, exhale, step, jump, lowering down. Spread the fingers. Inhale, lift through the shoulders. And exhale, lifting up through the hips. Coming back to that first position of Samasthiti. What's interesting about the name is the first 4 letters, which is Sama, S-A-M-A. It is also the same 4 letters in which describes Samadhi. Samadhi being the very end of yoga, the enlightenment phase, and Sama, Siti, the very beginning of the phase. So everything in between is the same. Applying the same attributes to all the same positions. Now bend your knees, look forward. Inhale to the feet to lift the chin. Exhale, fold down, release the head. Inhale, you rise up into the back bend with the arms lifted. Neutral pelvis. Exhale, release into Samasthiti. We're going to do 3 of version B. You bend the knees. Inhale, arms sweep up as normal. Exhale, fold down as you straighten your legs out. Inhale, take that little lift up with chest and chin. Hands down to exhale, step jump, and lower down with neutral pelvis. Inhale, keep a micro bend to the elbows. Exhale, back to down dog, micro bend to the elbows. Now turn the left foot out, right foot forward. Inhale, lift through the body, look up at the hands. Exhale, hands down, step back, lower with neutral pelvis. Inhale as you lift, exhale as you fold back. Right foot turns out, left foot steps. The inhale, exhale, return to Chaturanga. Keep the connection, pull the hands and the feet towards each other. Then inhale, take lift. Exhale, press the hips back and stay. This hand is further that way than this one is. There you go. We're at 2. 3. 4. 5. Bend the knees. Inhale to jump or step forward, lift through the chin. Exhale, fold into your legs. Inhale, lower the hips as you lift the arms, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samasthiti. Number 2, bend. Inhale to lift. Exhale, fold into your thighs. Then inhale, lift away from the legs. Hands down, exhale, jump back and lower down, neutral pelvis. Inhale, opens the chest. Exhale, lifts through the hips. The left foot turns out, right foot steps forward. Inhale all the way up into your Virabhadrasana warrior. Exhale all the way back down into that arm balance, Chaturanga. Inhale to lift. Exhale, fold back. Pivot the right. Step your left. Inhale up into the back bend of warrior A. Exhale all the way down into the arm balance of Chaturanga. Keep this core nice and strong. Inhale up. Exhale back. For 1. Noticing the quality of the breath now compared to when we started. For 2. 3, body's getting a little warmer at this point in the practice. 4, we're feeling a little bit more space in the body at this point. Take 1 more inhale in, and then exhale with the knees bent. Look forward. Inhale, forward, lift chin, strong legs. Exhale, down. Down with the hips. Inhale up with the hands. Exhale, stand tall. Samasthiti, last one. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, down into Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Uttanasana. Plant the hands, exhale, jump back down to Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, upward facing. Exhale, Adho Mukha, downward facing. Turn the left, step the right. Inhale, Virabhadrasana, warrior. Exhale, down to Chaturanga, Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, upward facing. Exhale, Adho Mukha, downward facing. Pivot, step, inhale, Virabhadrasana. Exhale, Chaturanga, Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, upward facing. Exhale, Adho Mukha, downward facing. Learning the names in the Sanskrit name is just as much as learning all the other details that we're putting into the positions. So here you're in a little bit of an inversion, just helping the heart keep the body nice and calm. But you're also in a little bit of an arm balance, supporting the body of the weight with the arms. You're also in a forward bend, triggering the kidney. Then your armpit is open, creating a little bit of stimulation. So really in this position, we're getting both inputs, a little bit of stimulation and a little bit of calming, all in the same position. Bend the knees, look forward, inhale, jump forward, lift up. Exhale, fold down, Uttanasana. Inhale, Utkatasana, bend the knees, raise the arms. Exhale, release. Always release to standing. Inhale, feet hip distance apart. Exhale, fold forward from the hip, hook the big toes. Take an inhale in this midway position, and then exhale, forward bend your belly down your thighs. Lengthen your chest down past the knees. Reach your head to the floor between the big toes, and then pull up on the big toes. So the elbows will bend out. The action is to pull the shoulders back up towards the hips. Don't allow the shoulders to drop and come closer to your earlobes. Think of using the back muscles. So this part's up. Take one more inhale in, and then a longer exhale out. And then on the next inhale, lift up through the chin. Exhale there. Now take the hands under the feet with an inhale from the front, under the soles of the feet, underneath. Padahastasana. Exhale, folding back down. Second set. 1. Same actions. Legs are strong, spine is lengthening down, shoulders are lifting up away from the ears for 2. More importantly is how you're breathing here with that smooth sound for 3. Eyes are open versus closed for 4. Take one more. And then we come up the same way we went down. Inhale, lift the chin. Exhale, remove the hands from the feet. Inhale, lift your spine into an upright position. Lift the spine up, upright position. There you go. And exhale back to Samasthiti. First, turn to the right. So turn 90 degrees. Separate your feet the length of one of your legs and take your arms up parallel to the floor. Inhale. Turn the right foot 90 degrees to the back wall. And then exhale, reach like you're trying to touch the back wall. When you can't come any closer to it, then lower the hand below the shoulder. Raise the top arm up towards the ceiling. And we turn the drishti point and we look at the top thumb for 1. Uttita Trikonasana, finding that neutral pelvis for 2. As you equally press into both feet to create that length along the sides of the rib cages for 3. Noticing that space by how easily you can breathe for 4. You take one more inhale in, and then look down as you exhale, so you got the balance. Inhale, come back up, arms parallel. Turn the right foot, and then turn your left foot to the front, and then exhale, extend as far as you can forward, and then lower into the left side. Inhale, look up to the hand in space for 1. This position, we are externally rotating the thighs for 2. So it's helping keeping the hips face the side of the mat and the tailbone down for 3. Noticing that better breath for 4. Take one more, inhale in, look down, exhale. Now inhale, come up, take the left arm up, the right arm down, and turn from the side all the way around so you're facing the back edge of the mat with the hips, and from there you just exhale, take a forward bend, down with the left hand, lift the right shoulder, and reach for the ceiling with the right arm for 1. Now we're twisting the spine, so make sure you're in a place of stability for 2. In other words, if you feel unstable, move your back foot into a place of stability for 3. Remember, the foundation of the legs and the arms are always there to support the spine for 4. Take one more inhale in and look down as you exhale so you got the balance. Inhale, you would come up. And it's one exhale to take the right arm up, face the front edge of the mat, and from there you're just taking a forward bend. So you forward bend down, right hand on the floor, left shoulder lifted, left arm extended. Parvarita Trikonasana for 1. The twist is created how you're using your arms for 2. The foundation is created by the use of your legs for 3. So the foundation supports the spine for your ability to twist it for 4. Take one more inhale in. Find your foundation by looking down, exhale. Inhale, you would come up. And exhale, you'd step back to Samasthiti. Now we're going to do the same with Parsvakonasana. So turn to the right and take a wider step. Raise the arms. Turn your right foot 90 degrees to the back. Inhale, neutral pelvis, belly in. Exhale, bend the right knee. You can stay high up on the knee with the arm, or if you go to the floor, it's on the right side of the right leg. And then the top arm is going to reach forward. So the whole left edge of the body is forming a nice straight line. For 1. That's right. So it'd be a little bit more like so. 2. Uttita Parsvakonasana. Extended side angle position. 3. So the bottom arm, the bottom hand would be on the floor, supporting the bottom weight on the outside of the knee. Right arm, right side of the right leg. If the floor is really far, put a block underneath so you're extending like so. On the next inhale, straighten your right leg to lift out of the right side. Right foot, then the left foot, bend the left knee, left arm, left side, left leg, or stay higher up onto the knee for 1. Press down into the back foot, but lift the arches of the back foot for 2. The back leg is straight. Feeling that extension come all the way up through the top arm for 3. Noticing that deeper, better breath for 4. Take one more inhale in and look down as you got your exhale. Now let's twist. So come back up. Now, like the last twist, we're going to take the left arm up, the right arm down. We're going to turn from the side and we're going to face the back edge of the mat. Bend the right knee and then exhale, take the back of the right arm outside of the right knee. Hands can be a prayer position if you just get there. If you know the full expression, then take your left hand down to the floor on the outside of the right foot. If you take this variation, the arm extends, because this is the twisted variation of the position before. The arm points up when you do triangles. Trikonasana and the twist of triangle, when you do the bent knee variation, your top arm in this position is pointing towards the back edge of your mat. There's the back edge, you got it. Take 3. Take 2. Take one more. And lift up on your next inhale. Turn, square the hips, exhale. Raise the right arm, inhale. Exhale, turn to the left, back of the arm, outer edge of the left knee. So effectively, remember to twist, take your other right arm to your left knee. There it goes. Open your left armpit so it's facing the ceiling above. And if you take the full expression, reach the top arm so it's straight, and you reach the top hand away from the back foot. So you're trying to make your body as long as possible as you're twisting your spine. We're already at 3. and 2, and 1. It would be your next inhale that would lift you up, and exhale, big toes together, samasthiti. Now we got 4 wide-legged forward bends called prasarita, padottanasana. So inhale, take the same space between the feet. Exhale, hands on the hips. Inhale, find the neutral pelvis. And then exhale, tilt the pelvis forward so you can come down, hands on the floor, just like your downward dog. Take an inhale. And then exhale, lower the head to the floor and walk the hands back so you have your hand underneath your elbow. For 1. And press the hands into the floor. That gives you the feeling your head is coming closer to the mat. For 2. So you would draw the elbows just slightly inwards like so. For 3. The head touches, you press the head into the floor also. For 4. 1 more inhale in. Finish the exhale. Then inhale, lift up through the chin. Exhale there. Put your hands on your hips. Inhale, come up. Exhale there. Arms inhale out. Hands exhale back to the hips to find that neutral pelvis. Take an inhale, stand even taller. And then exhale, tilt the pelvis forward, fold back down, keeping the hands right where you have them. B variation. 1. So you're pushing the hands up into the hips. For 2, to help those muscles under the armpit engage, pull your shoulders towards the hip bones. For 3. So there's lots of space between the ears and the shoulders. For 4, take 1 more inhale in, and then stretch out the exhale. Then use the next inhale, come up all the way in 1 lift. Exhale once you're there. Arms lift up, inhale. Behind the back, exhale. Maybe switch the grip. Inhale, stand tall, exhale, forward bend down, just like the last one, and then reach the hands away from the floor. Like one of these days, the hands will come down. 2. 3. 4. 5. Good. Inhale, come up in 1 lift. Exhale, put the hands on the hips, find that neutral pelvis, draw the belly in. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, go back down 1 last time, just low enough you can grab your big toes. You take an inhale there. Maybe you can bend the elbows up to the ceiling. And then exhale, descend the head back down to the floor. For 1. Now you may press your thumbs into the floor, but make sure you don't drop the shoulders when you do so. So the shoulders are moving up, muscles are under the armpit are active. In fact, all the muscles of the back are active, contributing to the forward bend. Same action in the legs whenever they are straight. The quadricep muscle is engaged, the kneecap has lifted, and you've got a neurological connection all the way down into the toes. Time to move again. Inhale, lift through the chin. Exhale, release the big toes. Inhale, lift up, upright position. And exhale, turn to the front and step back to samasthiti. 1 more standing pose and then we go down to the floor. Before we move the feet, taking the hands into reverse prayer. Fingers pointing up towards the back of the skull. And then to close the hands, we move the elbows towards the wall behind us. Once you've got the hands set, we step the right foot back, we turn all the way around and face the back wall. From the back wall, so your right leg is in front. So right now you're facing the side, turn around to face the back. Exhale, take a forward bend. Pars Vottanasana for 1. You're in a forward bend with your legs and in a back bend with your arms for 2. So put a little micro bend to the front knee so it doesn't hyperextend. And then move your elbows up towards the ceiling for 3. 4. Feeling where the hands are in the back and breathing into that space. 5. Next inhale, lift up. 1 exhale to turn back to face the front with the hips, and then forward bend right back down into your left side. 1. Remember, it's a breathing practice. 2. 3. Back foot's like a warrior foot. There it goes. 4. Take 1 more breath. Finish that exhale. You would lift up with your next inhale, release the hands, and exhale back to Samasthiti. Inhale, lift through the arms. Exhale, forward bend down the legs. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Hands down, exhale, step, jump down, finding that neutral pelvis. Inhale, extend the spine when you take your back bend. Exhale, forward bend at the hip, downward dog. Now you're going to look at your hands. Inhale, jump your big toes together between the hands and sit down onto the back of the heels. Maybe the heels will lift. Some of us got a longer Achilles than others. Some of us might have to have the heels come up. Now make your legs symmetrically even. So bring the knees together, the thighs together, and the feet as close as you can get. Put your left hand behind you on the ground for balance. And inhale, raise the right arm up in the air. And then use the back of the right arm and exhale it and press it to the outside of your left knee. Put your hands into a prayer position. Press the palm to palm so that your left armpit is being opened and it's facing the wall behind you. For those of you at home that know how to take the bind of Pashasana, by all means, take the appropriate variation. We are in a twist for 1. Like all twists, breathe out into the constriction you feel in the spine, and then feel yourself get smaller with the exhales. Feel as though you're creating space with inhales, and then retracting into yourself with exhale. Take a couple more. Then inhale, look forward. Exhale, release the twist. Put the right hand behind you. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, the back of the arm press to the right knee. Join the palms. Press into each other. Turn your right armpit to the wall behind. For 1. 2. 3. 4. Take 1 more. And finish the exhale. Inhale to look to the front. Exhale to release. You can take a regular jump back or take a crow, Bakasana crow, to jump back. Take a vinyasa. Jump through to a seated position. So from legs are straight, we're going to lean over to the left. We're going to close the right knee, and we're going to point the right toes to the wall behind us with the top of the foot on the floor. Now, right off the bat, if the bending of the right knee makes you feel like you're kind of falling over to the left, then put a block under your hips so you don't feel like you're leaning to the left side. You can do 2 things here. You can bring your hands to the floor and do a forward bend. You can even take a hold of the foot and do a forward bend. Or you can stay seating up. You can pull your left foot in, take it with the right hand, straighten the leg out in the air, and then come to a position like so. Crunch, asana, for 5. Inner rotating both of your femur bones for 4. So it's that right knee that likes to kind of float out to the side. Pull it back in so it's pointing straight forward for 3. This position, we do a flow in between the two sides. In 4, take one more breath. Inhale in and exhale out. If your leg is in the air, exhale, it comes down. Or if you're down, inhale, you come up. Put the hands down, step, jump back to plank, and go through the flow. Inhale, jump back to seated. Exhale to straight legs. Now lean over to your right, close the left knee, point the left toes back, and either if you go forward, it's an exhale, or if you're bringing the leg in the air first, it would be an inhale to raise the leg, and then exhale, fold towards the leg. Counting down. 5. Get all involved in the sensations of your breath. 4. Keep your eyes open. Look to where you want to go. 3. 2. And 1. The leg is in the air. Exhale, lower it down. If you're down, inhale, come up. Hands become the foundation for you to step back to plank and move through your flow. Stop this flow when you get to your down dog, as we just changed them a bit. Now inhale, go forward into a plank position. Pull the feet to the hands, pull the hands to the feet. Exhale, lower slowly down onto the mat. You got it. Now straighten your arms and put your hands at your hips. At the hips. There it goes. Put the back of the hand down and turn the palm up. Now join the big toes and inner rotate the legs and move the heels out to the sides. You got it. Lift the tops of the feet, lift the kneecaps, lift the thighs. And as you press the hands down, you're lifting your face, lifting your shoulders, lifting your chest. You're lifting everything that can possibly lift from the mat, except the hand that's pressing down to help with the lift. Shalabhasana. A. We're going to do an A and a B variation. We're at about 3 and 4 and 5. Now stay up. Now put the palm on the floor halfway between your hip and your shoulder. Draw the elbows back and push yourself forward versus up. So the face is still up, chest is still up, feet are up, kneecaps are up, everything is still up. And instead of pushing yourself up, push yourself forward, like you're sliding across the belly on the floor. Say another 3. Lift the face, look forward, and then look up to your third eye for 3 and 2 and 1. Exhale, press the feet to the floor for the foundation. Move the hands slightly forward. Just slightly forward. Just slightly, just a little bit. So that you can inhale, take flow. Exhale, fold at the hip. Inhale, back to plank. Pull the hands and the feet towards each other. Exhale, slowly coming down to the floor. Now come up onto the elbows, what's called Sphinx pose. Put the elbow right under the shoulder. So your arm is like a 90-degree angle. Now we're going to do these one leg at a time. So we're going to keep our left arm the way you have it. You're going to bend just your right leg. The right hand takes the inside of the right foot. You're going to pull the foot down, and we can get it close enough to the body. You then turn the hand, your right hand, so it faces the front, like so. And then you press the foot down towards the floor on the outside of the hip. just like we did a little earlier, where the heel, the foot was on the outside of the hip. Now the front arm, stay lifted. Maybe even press into the front hand and try straightening the front arm so the elbow lifts off the ground. That's already at about 3, 4, and 5. With the exhale, return to that symmetrical Sphinx pose. Right side is equal, just like the left side. Now bend the left knee. Reach back with the left arm. Take the inner foot, pull it down, and then try to turn the knuckles of the hand so it faces forward. So when we change the angle of the hand, really what we're doing is we're changing the angle of the shoulder, and then press the foot towards the floor. Like one of these days, you'll literally be able to press the heel down to the yoga mat. 3. This is a variation of Bikasana, frog pose. 4. And 5. With your exhale, return to Sphinx pose. Now, press the feet into the mat. Now, staying the way you are in the upper body, bring the hands onto the mat where you need them for the flow. And then use your inhale to lift up through the head. Head lifts to the ceiling. Exhale, hips lift up to the ceiling. Inhale, you return to plank. And exhale, you know how to lower to the floor, keeping the connection in the core. Now bend the knees. Bring the heels up to the hips and hold the outer edge of the ankles with the 2 hands. Now rejoin the feet so that you know symmetrically what your feet and your legs are doing behind the body. Now inhale, press the feet into the hands, resist the work of the legs with the arms, and lift as much of your body off the contact surface of the mat as possible. As you breathe that better breath. Never do any action so fervently that it hinders your breathing. We're already at 3. And 2. And 1. Release, exhale. Feet are the foundation, legs are engaged. Plant your hands, the other part of the foundation. Find the neutral pelvis, and then inhale, lift up and take your flow. One more time on the belly, back to plank, to chaturanga. So we just did Dhanurasana bow position. We're gonna do side bow position. Now bend the knees again. Grab the ankles again. Then inhale, lift up into your Dhanurasana, and exhale, get over onto the right shoulder and the right hip. Lift the chin up from the chest, just like you do in regular Dhanurasana. For 4. Still pressing the feet into the hands. For 3, using the floor to make sure you're still doing a symmetrical back bend. Take one more inhale in, and exhale out. Inhale back to the belly, exhale onto the other side. Use the momentum. 5, keep your head square with the shoulders. So right now your head is like this. 4, yeah, so the head wouldn't rest on the ground because then you would tilt it. Lift the head off the ground so it's symmetrical. There he goes. 3, everything is about symmetry. Right side is just like the left side. 4, take one more, and you got one last set on your belly. So inhale, get back to the belly. I count down from 5. Burn the legs. For 4, just means you're doing it right. You're working hard, what you're doing. 3, 2, 1. With your exhale, release the feet to the floor. Plant the hands to the floor. Foundation, find the neutral pelvis. Inhale takes your upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale in a downward dog. Exhale, lower your knees down to the mat. Inhale, stand up on your knees. Then open your knees so they are hip distance apart, and open your feet. Put your hands on your hips, just like you would in Samasthiti. Find that neutral pelvis. Draw the belly button in and press the feet into the mat. Now from here, what you're going to do is you're going to bend at the knee. You're going to lean back into the strength of your legs, and without leaning too far from one side to the other, take the hand to the heel, other hand to the heel. Do so without leaning onto one side or the other. So go so far back that your hands can easily touch the feet. Okay? And then move the thighs forward. The last thing you do will be to lift your chin. I can't even talk when I lift my chin. In fact, you can do camel, keeping your chin at your chest. When you open up your neck, that is where all the stimulation of the position comes from. It's not from the opening of your heart. Your heart does not open. Okay, it's the blood pressure receptors that you're opening in your neck, which stimulate you. So before you come out of this pose, inhale, bring your chin to your chest, and then bring the hands off evenly as you come out, hands down, take a vinyasa flow. In other words, try to get out of the habit of going into camel with one hand and then the other, and then coming out of camel with one hand and then the other. Inhale, jump through to seated. Exhale, lie down on your back. Bend both knees and put the 2 feet on the floor, hip distance apart. If you put your hands on the floor, bring the heel to the tip of your middle finger, and they shouldn't be any closer than that. Any closer, it means you're bringing the feet literally too close to the hips. Now use the connection of your feet to find the neutral pelvis. So here the belly button would move down, but not so far down that you lose that natural curve. Keep the natural curves in your spine, but lengthen the spine. Now as you press into the feet, inhale, lift the frontal hip bones up to the height of the knees, and then wiggle the arms underneath, so you interlace the fingers, just like we did in the standing sequence. And the back of the arms, the back of the shoulders are the foundation. Lift the chest so that your chest is now coming closer to the chin. Lift the chest through the use of the legs. Taking 3. By all means, if an Urdhva Dhanurasana here is more appropriate for you, you take that. For 2, we're going to do 3 sets. And 1, anytime now, and exhale lowers you back down to the mat. Take a little break. 2 more sets, just like that. So reestablish the feet. I know you can't see them, so it's all that work we did earlier in the sequence of knowing where the feet are. They are straight forward with that slight inward rotation, which starts at the femur. Neutral pelvis. Now you can do the same back bend, keeping the hands at the hips, or you take the hands to the floor above the shoulders. You press into the feet, you lift the hips, you lift onto the top of the head as that midway point. The shoulders move away from the ears, and you press up off of the head without losing the contact of your feet. Remember, the feet are the foundation that will support the spine. The more we move the feet, the more unstable it becomes for the sacrum. Make the feet heavy, pressing into the 4 corners to create a proper foundation to back bend. Take 1 more inhale in, and exhale, lower down. 1 more set to go after just a little break. Foundation, feet, legs to support the spine, hands at the hips or on the floor above the shoulders. Like any lift up from the floor, it's always an inhale. And only lifting so far up into any position, you maintain those 3 attributes. A good foundation, a foundation that supports the length of spine, being aware of what you're doing, which is observing that better breath. Take one more inhale in, and exhale, lower down to the floor. Roll over to your right side. Inhale, come up to a seated position. Straighten out your two legs. You take an active forward bend by taking the feet, or a passive forward bend by putting your lower arm bones under the backs of your knees. A slower count of 10. Because this is the counter pose to those stimulating back bends for 9. So we're now trying to instigate the other end of the nervous system that was just being stimulated, the calming part, for 8. All forward bends are calming because they open the kidney in your lower back for 7. Can you lie there so still in a place of awareness that you start to notice your body shifting from that place of stimulation into a place in which you're calming down? Breathing rate would slow down. Heartbeat would slow down. Blood pressure would start to drop. Taking another 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Release your feet. Inhale, sit up, cross your legs, and take your last vinyasa flow of your practice. After this flow, you take your inversion. So you jump through the seated, take your mat to the wall or something that you can lean your legs against. You're going to be on your back with your butt and the backs of your legs resting against something. If you don't have something to rest your legs against at home, you can simply raise your legs in the air. Maybe just put a belt around your feet and use the belt to hold your legs in the air. Another great position to learn about your nervous system. Yoga is not stretching. So when we remove that concept that we're not stretching, what exactly are we doing? All the work is on the nervous system. So here, the inversion is triggering the heart. It's not opening the heart. It's making the beating of the heart easier because the legs are upside down. So the gravity is pulling the blood from your feet all the way back through the legs to the heart. In other words, it's easier for your heart to beat when you're upside down. Hence, the organic effect we get from doing this position and all other inversions like shoulder stand and headstand and plow pose, halasana. Lie there so still that you can articulate what is changing on the inside of your body. Last minute. Exhale. Come down from Viparani Karani and take a cross-legged seated position. Mudra your first finger and thumb together. Place your hands in front of your knees. Now reach the crown of your head up towards the ceiling so you sit nice and tall. And keep that length of spine and then lower your chin halfway down towards the chest. But even though you lowered the chin down, you didn't lower the height of your head. Think of length of spine, but the chin being halfway down. You can then look down off the angle of the nose or close your eyes at this point. If you do close your eyes, don't get lost in the darkness. Really, what you're doing is you're still looking. What you're looking as is the screen of your closed eyelids, looking at the projection of color and shape, staying awake, aware of the breath that you are creating for just one more minute before we take our rest on our back. Now exhale, release your breath. Your body takes over the breathing for it, and you lie down for your Shavasana. You turn the palm of the hands up. You leave them along the side of the body. Now allow your feet to turn out all they want. Disengage your muscles. Close your eyes. But even though you close your eyes, you're staying awake, aware that you're still practicing yoga. This is a meditative place, a place in which you do move as close as you can to sleep. You might even dip your toes into some sleep. But the very millisecond you notice you're asleep, you come back. Like you're walking a tightrope. You have to focus. If you don't focus, you fall off. It's not important how many times you fall off. It's really important how often you remember to come back. Inhale. Come back into a deeper breath. Again, use your awareness to notice what's different. Try to understand that different state post-Shavasana. Now move your body to wake it up some more. Notice how we lose this connection the more we move. It's very subtle. Curl over into the fetal position on your right side. Inhale, help yourself up, cross your legs. Join our hands. Conclude our little ritual with the sound of Om. Inhale. Om. Thank you, Audrey. Thank you. Have a great day. Namaste. Good work today. See you next week.